Good morning, girls. Good morning, good morning. I'm getting ready for church and was going to do the mindset training before church, which may end up being 2 mindset trainings. Who knows? We'll see. I usually like to talk on the service, but maybe I'll just send that out to the world and you guys so people can listen. We'll see. Hoping for a good message today, you know? So I always wake up Sunday morning, I'm like, yes, God, if you could just send me that message that I need to hear, and then for all week long, it's what I like resonate with and like glide to or tend to pay attention more to. So yeah, I'm excited, but I want to talk to you guys about staying on the plan, okay? A lot of you, and I know y'all say it when you're checking in. I'm not making excuses. I know they're just excuses. I'm trying. But someone who's coming back made a bold statement this morning and said, I would like to have home and gym workouts because I'm going to try to make that work. I'm going to try to get to the gym. And I said, okay, I will definitely make sure that, we set it up like that, whatever. But I said, let's not just try, let's commit. Like, let's not just say that sounds nice, like the gym sounds nice, and I would love to think that I could go there one day, but like, I'm not even thinking that that's a possibility for me. Or you start to think of when you can go and you make up all the reasons in the world why you can't make it work when you could ask for help probably and you could make it happen. So instead of saying try, say I'm going to commit, even if I have to change plans, even if I have to cancel on myself, it is okay because I'm going to just keep sticking with the plan until I commit to it, right? So yes, we're trying, but like some of your tryings ain't trying. You're saying you're trying and you ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't trying hard enough. And I think somebody needs to hear that today because last week's check-ins were amazing. Like there were some good ones. Even Elizabeth messaged and was like, dude, there were some good check-ins this week. I'm like, I know, bro. But there's also several of you that are still sitting in that like, I've stalled, or I can't get back on the wagon, or now's just not the time. It is the time because this is part of it. And you guys keep forgetting that this is just part of it. This is what happens is you get up, you get up, you get up, you get up over and over. And y'all, I'm going to use me going back into prep, for instance, because it's so funny. And y'all are going to laugh at this, I'm sure, or be like, that is so true. And y'all might start to notice it more. But with Elizabeth being in prep before I was, like, some of the stuff that she would want to discuss with clients, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to step on their toes, because I was in a vulnerable state. I was in a state of like trying to heal from things. And so I was like, oh my God, let's be gentle with them. And she's over here like motivated to rock and roll. And she's like, we need to tell them to do this. And we need to tell them to make sure that they're tracking their food and that we need to stay, consistent with that. And she's just really picked me up on moments where I want to be like that tiptoe coach. And she's like, they need to do this. They got to do this. And it's like, she's right, because that's why you're here. And if we're not pushing you and we're allowing you to have excuses, we're going to end up giving up because we are your positive ear or your positive voice. And we're over here allowing you to make excuses. So always remember that is our job. But also me going back into prep now, when some of you say like, I can't seem to eat this. I'm just like, what? I'm over here drinking cream of rice, bro. And the texture, the little sand things, it feels to me like I'm eating sand, and it, but I'm doing it because like I enjoy the push that prep gives me. And that's the way I kind of want you guys to look at this, because this is a first time for all of you, or a lot of you, but a lot of you have been here. There's actually more veterans here now than there are newbies anymore. Like people that have done 90 days, way past 90 days, and they are here. And so this is no new for you. And so making sure that you stay on task and create more and more and more discipline in your day. So, movement. I want to talk about this, and I'm going to use somebody as an example because she's no longer in the program, but we tend to stay in contact every once in a while. We'll like talk, or I'll see her check in on her trainer eyes because she does still have workouts and stuff, but she'll message and just be like, hey, I'm still doing this. And so the other morning I had messaged her and she said she was walking that morning and then walking in the evenings. And it was just one thing I said that reminded, like I told her, like, always move. No matter if you can get your workouts in or not, move your body. If you only have an extra 15 minutes in the morning, like say you want to try to get up at 5 a.m. And if you wake up at 5 a.m., from 5 a.m. to 5:45, you could work out. But you wake up at 5 a.m., you fall back asleep, and then at 5:17, you wake up. Don't stay there. Get up, right? Get up, girl. And at least utilize those next 15, 20 minutes to go outside and walk. Move your body. Y'all, I have been walking for an hour in the mornings, and I'm getting like 8,000 to 10,000 steps right at the beginning of the morning. And no, not everyone can walk for an hour, but if you're not feeling like getting your workout in, or you're sore, or you're stiff, or you only have 15 minutes or only have 20 minutes, it's still going to count. It's still going to make a difference. And that's what you guys have to engrave in your mind, is that when you're eating food, you're consuming food, right? In order to metabolize that, we got to move. And so if you want to eat the food, you got to move the body. You know what I'm saying? It goes hand in hand. And that movement, we want to be weight training. Of course, we want you to work out. But if all I can get is steps, I'm taking it all day long. So move. your body, okay? And stop saying, well, I don't have 45 minutes, so I'm just going to stall and not do nothing. No, go do something. I don't care if you only get 20 crunches in. I don't care if you only sit here and clench your butt for 3 minutes. I don't care. You're going to build something back there, okay? And slowly but surely, you're going to start to realize, oh my God, these little moments actually do count, right? Just like the other day, I had a friend come over and she's building a gym at her house, and she's like, Chelsea, I want you to set me up a plan whenever I get this all done. Because if you guys don't know, we will if you haven't got to do this with Mandy yet, with workouts, we're building people's workouts now. Obviously, it's a lot more than just the $40 was, but not a lot more, but you get it. Like, we're customizing these things. So anyways, if somebody has a home gym or they work out at a specific gym, they can send us videos of their area that they're working out, and we will build them a program based off of that. So that's what my friend is wanting us to do for her once she gets everything set up. But she was here and she was like, I did 2 workouts the last 2 days out there with what I have already going. And she said, is it weird that, like, the other day I looked in the mirror, or she said yesterday, she's like, I looked in the mirror and was like, oh my God, I'm buff. Like, I see a muscle. And she's like, why do we do that? I'm like, because it's like our validation. It's what we want. But it's true. Like, any muscle that you have built up underneath there, muscle memory is incredible. And it is just pumping that up. And so as you're doing it, it's like, choo, choo, choo. So yes, your muscle definition will start to come back. If you've ever worked out or been athletic or tried any sports or hiked or worked a lot as a child, yeah, right. Any of that, you would see so much built up and start to come to the surface as you progress. But the movement is everything. So please don't do nothing. Do something. And if you got 10, give me 10. Okay. If you got 15, give me 15. If you put the kids to bed and you feel like you didn't move enough, I need you to go outside and walk for 20 minutes without the phone. Maybe pray, okay? That's very therapeutic. And actually, my coach told me the other day when I filled out last week's check-in, I said my sleep wasn't that great. And he said, what's the problem? Like, what's going on? I'm like, stress, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting through it. Like, I was explaining to myself. I'm like, I'm getting through it. We're going to be fine. But, like, tank, you know, like, I'll get there. Life's a little crazy. But he was like, well, if you want me to give you advice, I will say, if you tend to go to bed looking at your phone, try putting it down an hour before you go to bed and then not touching it. Like, when you put it down, don't go to bed in that moment. Like, put it down for it to be by the side of your bed or wherever you leave your phone, and like set your alarms right then, and then do your stuff that you do before bed and go to bed. And I will say, when I do that, I feel like I get such better sleep than I do if I go to sleep looking at my phone or go to sleep like scrolling and then just throwing it down, you know? So I don't know who needs that tip, but it did work, and I should try it more often. Other than that, that's what we have to focus on. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. You can check in Friday, Saturday, or Sunday mornings. Any work, just please make sure you do it those 3 days. We're giving you 3 days. So checking in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no. I'm probably not going to see them in enough time before the actual next check-in starts. And so I can't penalize the ones that are on time for the ones that weren't on time, okay? And I've talked to some of you about changing, like, if you needed to stay at that day, since we did just change it to Friday mornings. But if I have not talked to you and you did not communicate with me, please keep the regular, like the check-in date as of Friday. And if you need to communicate with me your check-in, then do that. But I also, as a coach, have to work on the communication thing, and making sure that I hold you guys accountable just as much as myself, okay? I don't even think I finished the story about Elizabeth and, like, so I'm going to add this story on because it's just at a place where I'm at, and I like to just kind of let you guys in on where my journey's at as far as my health journey goes and how it's going, you know, because this is a fun time. A lot of people start to enjoy watching people go through prep, and if you guys shared your journey, people would be inspired by it too, because just watching people progress and grow, it is a lot of fun. So, but this also is very relatable to you guys in your journey, being first and all that, like it being your first time and stuff. But when I first did my first show in 2022, oh my gosh, I was so excited because I was running on no correct info that I actually knew. You know, I was just like, I want to do this. I'm doing it. Somebody coach me. And I'm not mad about that because it led me to this right here, Life Risers. And it created like a storm of clients for me just by simply taking action in my life and like just being like, you know what, I want to do this. And I've said this for years, even as a child, that one day I might want to do that. And I'm sticking to that. And so I just ran into it. I ran into it and did it. I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. But one thing I will never forget is the way I treated myself afterwards. Like, I was so proud of myself for the way that prep went. Like, everyone was like, dude, you're killing it. Like, you are acting like this is not hard at all. And it was like a huge confidence boost that I needed back then. Because I promise you guys, that's where a lot of my confidence grew to a totally different level, which I'm sure that makes sense. But during that prep, I really got to see how insane I actually am in the discipline department when I want to be, because I love a good competition. Anyone tells me I can't do something, I'm probably going to try to do it unless it's like devilish, and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. But I remember afterwards, like going through all of that, and then afterwards just destroying myself, just tearing myself apart and being disgusted with how I looked. And everyone would be like, Chelsea, you look amazing. And I'm like, you guys are just saying that. Like, I don't. And I wore a t-shirt that whole summer afterwards because I did my show in April, and it was just a wild time. There's a lot that I learned in that moment with who you surround yourself with and how they make you feel, which was mind-blowing once that kind of came to the surface of like why I kind of held myself back, and like why I felt like I didn't want to do it again. At the same time, I was like, actually, I really enjoy this. Like, I kind of do want to do this again. But through the process, I ended up, getting pregnant and stuff like that. But I knew, like, that the nutrition thing mattered. I knew I was eating enough. And even if I was eating crappy-ish, like doing a little 80-20 moments, I was still building, like, I was still bulking in a sense. And so as long as I told myself to keep pushing myself in the gym as much as possible, I did. And even on the days that I did not want to go to the gym, I still showed up. Was the workout 110%? No, a lot of times I half-assed it. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. But it made a difference because I kept the routine. As much as I didn't want to, as much as I didn't want to be there, I just kept going back because I knew deep down that I really wanted to do another show. And I was like, dude, if I waste this time, when I go back into prep, I'm going to be very upset with myself. So now, getting to go back into prep, being 14 weeks out and being where I am now, man, I love the feeling of feeling like, okay, we're doing this. Like, I actually feel like an athlete. I don't feel like the newbie anymore. In a sense, I will say you always want to be that new because, like, I went to the posing department, the posing clinic yesterday, and I was so nervous, y'all. I get so nervous around people, and I knew I needed to do it, so I pushed myself to do it because I didn't want to, and I knew I needed it, okay? I said that already. But I went, and I did it, and I was like, this is not bad at all. But one thing that I used to do was get offended when somebody tried to give me constructive criticism. And a lot of times I don't know how to take it, and so I kind of just, like, ignore. Like, I'm standing there, but I'm not listening to you. And that just comes from a place of ego and just pride and being like, oh, this person's stupid. But yesterday, being there, I didn't know any of the girls, and I let two of them come up and help me with my walk. And yes, it was a little overwhelming because they were both talking and giving different tips. And I was like, oh my God, this is stressing me out a little bit. But I learned a little bit from both of them. And when I walked away, I was like, that was the one thing that I was like super proud of myself for, is like, I didn't let my ego get in the way of my growth. And a lot of times that's what happens is we let that little pride, that little ego, that little victim mentality get in the way of our growth. And it's like, suck it up, buttercup. This person's probably going to teach you something, And so I was really proud because it wasn't even a thought in my mind, don't listen to them. It was just like, I want to talk to you guys. Where before, when I show up, I got the RBF face on. I'm ready to make sure that these girls know we ain't talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me. And here I am now, the one over there like, whose team are you on? Oh, how many shows have you done? Oh, is this your first clinic? Oh, well, how are you liking it? Do you work out with him? Do you work out with his wife? And like all these questions. And she's just like, yep, nope, yep. I'm like, she's me in my past life, and I am her in her future life, hopefully. And I'm just like, you can't bother me with your one sentence answers back. And guess what, y'all? I kept talking to her, and at the end, she added me on Instagram. So that's just your reminder that sometimes people aren't mean. They have a guard up. And until you show them who you are, which is a nice, kind, understanding person, then they can open up to you, which that's my job. It's what I do every day. So, bada bing, bada boom. But I just feel so much more confident going into this and expecting everything that I once did not. And through that, I get so much confidence in how I push you guys. And instead of being pushy and being that like in your face coach that I was 3 years ago going through this, now it's like I'm understanding. And now it's like, girl, if you'll just give me 20%, just give me 20% today and promise me that you'll move that body. Like, we can get there if you'll just keep showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't keep giving those check-ins that are nope, 3-4 weeks in a row, girl. Get it together. Snap out of it. Come on, All right, I love you guys. I gotta go talk to God. See if I'm doing the right thing. You guys do the same. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Always do. Love you. Bye.